Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thanks so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Today, we're going to talk about the full moon in Cancer that is coming up on December 26th, which is next Tuesday, I believe, and the human design energy and transit reading for this full moon and what this means for us collectively, and what I highly recommend during these broadcasts where I talk about the new or the full moon human design is that you have your chart with you so that you can compare to the information that I give, and you can see if any of the channels that you don't normally have completed get completed during the new moon or full moon. So it becomes this really awesome interactive video. So anyways, before we dive into it, I want to thank you all for being here again. I want to ask that if you are new to the channel, if you like the content, that you please subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos. I also want to invite you to download my free moon astrology guide, which will tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. And it also enters you into my email list, which I send out a weekly moon magic report with the astrology and the horoscope basically for the week ahead. So it's actually really, really cool. And another really cool thing that's coming up that I want to share with you is we have an event, a free event coming up called the Activate Your New Year Challenge starting January 5th. It's a 5-day challenge. And what we're going to do is help you set intentions for the new year, set yourself up for success for the new year, as well as set big goals and talk about your brand sphere in your gene key so you can see how that frequency plays out in terms of business. And this is Capricorn season that we're about to jump into tomorrow. So it's a big deal to think about those things and think about those long-term goals during Capricorn season. The challenge is also a sneak preview into our Aquarian Business School for Lightworkers, which begins on January 11th. It is a 6-week journey where we're going to teach you how to embody your unique design based off of your astrology, your gene keys, and your human design, and your spiritual business. So if you have been wanting to launch a spiritual business, or you are wanting to kind of organize it in a way that is very inspiring to you and that really aligns with who you truly are and that frequency that you came here in the world to be, then we're going to help you do that. We're going to do like a whole interactive class where we teach you how to build a business plan, but looking at it basically through the lens of the Aquarian age and business as, you know, the future of humanity, which is basically just bringing together that like realm of spirituality and mission and life purpose with the whole side of business, and actually realizing that when you do live in your unique design, you can activate that, you turn the key and you activate prosperity into your life in a really powerful way. And if you want to check out more of what we mean by this, come check out the videos that we've done on Matias de Stefano, on Teal Swan, and on David Palmer, the Leo King. The videos are on the channel already. Just go to the histories of the live videos and you can find them there. But we are showing examples of people that are fully living in their design and how that activates prosperity in their life. And these are people that have spiritual businesses as, you know, the nature of their business. So it's been really fun to do those, and we're excited to launch this course. And also, I have announced officially already that the Moon Goddess training is now open for registration. 2024, we begin February 9th, and I did a whole free virtual Akashic healing retreat where we went into each of the temples along the Nile. So this is the initiatic path, and we got an experience of what the Moon Goddess training is all about. It's a mystery school through the Akashic records to learn how to read the Akashic records. There's 3 levels, and the journey that we took was healing through the chakras within the Akashic records back into the ancient temples. So if you want to check that out, if that kind of calls you, then please go check it out. We begin on February 9th, like I mentioned, and we're having a incentive, a special. If you sign up before December 31st, you get a free human design map from me. If you sign up either for the Moon Goddess training or the Aquarian Business School, whether you're doing the payment plan or the pay in full. And then if you do the business school, you also get a free 30-minute business coaching session with Ariel, and that's like her expertise. So super excited for all of that. I'm also having a sale on my readings, 2 of my readings. One is called Your Human Design Map, which basically gives you a PDF file of your human design type, strategy, authority, incarnation cross, centers, channels, hanging gates. And I even make your unique mantra for you to cut out and frame and put it somewhere on your wall so you can always tune into that energy. And it's going to be a really good tool to have for both of the classes that we are offering in 2024. And yes, the other reading is the 30-minute session. You can get a 30-minute session. They're on sale for $88, and usually they are $108. So thank you so much for letting me share all that, you guys. I know it's kind of a mouthful and the announcements are getting longer and longer, but the truth is that this is where I can, showcase what I'm offering to the world. And so I really appreciate you guys letting me do that here. Now, let me say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Hello, Ping. Welcome in. Hello, Marielle. Welcome in. Bernadine is here as well. And Raessa. And if you are here watching, please say hi in the chat because I love that interaction in the live videos. So let's dive into this human design chart. I'm going to do a screen share. So here we go. This is the chart that we are looking at for this full moon in Cancer. So we did the astrology reading yesterday. So I highly recommend you go check that out. We talked about how the moon is landing on the 52nd gate, which is the gate of stillness. And in human design, it's landing on the 52nd gene key. And in human design, it's landing on the 52nd gate, which is called the gate of stillness, keeping still mountain. I mean, it's this beautiful frequency. You can feel the power even just behind that word, like keeping still mountain. That's from the original I Ching. But what we're talking about here is an energy that has the potential to help us like focus. And it's hard to sit still. I mean, I'm a mental projector, so I have a hard time with this whole sitting still thing. But I do have the ninth gate, which means that this full moon for me is going to complete this channel called the channel of concentration. And it's interesting, right, that this is in this energy of Cancer, which is a very emotional frequency. One time I heard Matias de Stefano say that our emotions are like the doors. They open up the doors, they open up the portals, but they can't come with us through the portal. And it's almost as if the emotional realm, which is a huge topic in human design, especially when you talk about the solar plexus and the raves coming in 2027, the emotional energy is a tool for us to both pay attention to our intuition, and also sometimes the emotions, maybe all the time, if you work with them as a mode of communication, meaning the emotions give you messages, you actually can tap into the information and almost in this like very grounded place, like sitting in the middle and watching the emotions flow around you as if you were like the observer. And that's what I feel this like channel of concentration really brings up for me. The visual is like someone sitting like a Zen Buddha in the middle, and there's like a tornado around them, like they're in the eye of the storm. This isn't like an emotional channel. It's not a channel that is part of the solar plexus. In fact, in human design, it is a channel that connects the root to the sacral center, the root being the center of pressure and stress, and the sacral center being the center of life force energy that flows through you. So it has to do with some kind of pressure. Something is pressuring us to do something, right? And so the pressure of this, 50-second gate is the pressure to like sit still. Because one of the things that is important about this specific gate, and it's not completed by a transit, but if you have the ninth gate, then you actually will have this channel complete. But the important thing is that this gate is part of a circuit called the Collective Understanding Circuit. And it's like the challenge to focus, the challenge to concentrate. It's challenging us to sit down and be still and listen. And I think that's a beautiful frequency. This circuit is about being focused and concentrated in order to understand the patterns of life. And once a pattern has been found, it has to be tested through experimentation, improved through correction, and resolved through depth and grounded through opinion. So once the formula underlying the pattern has been verified, only then can it be seen as reliable and used to project us into the future. So this circuit is about projecting us into the future, and each of the gates and channels in the circuit are a part of that process that I just described. The 52nd is the one to sit still and pay attention and listen. And then the sun and the opposite end of the spectrum is actually on the 58th gate, which is also in the root, which is one of these gates that is pushing us forward. And the pressure of this gate is, it's actually called, and we'll dive into them each separately, but it's called the Gate of Vitality. And it's people with a love of challenging authority simply for the joy of the challenge. But the channel that it's a part of, the channel of judgment, is about correcting things and making things better. So we have this frequency with the moon that's helping us to sit still so that we can focus and see, okay, what am I seeing here? What am I looking at here? What am I observing? You can only do that unless you sit still. And then the clarity comes. And once the clarity comes, then you know where to fix things. Like, where does this, whatever system need to be fixed? Where do those things need to happen? And then you can have the clarity to actually implement them. So if you apply this into your life, where in your life you're like too restless that you need to sit still, because this moon is an opportunity to do that. We can embody the energy of the moon through the human design transits in our life by taking on and embodying the themes that they represent. So where in your life do you need more stillness? Where can you kind of find the stillness so you can sit and pay attention and listen? And where in your life are you looking for answers to fix things, to resolve things, to make things better, to improve yourself and your life so that the future is better? So I think it's a really cool energy, especially too, because we're having this on a Capricorn, during Capricorn season, which is ruled by Saturn in the 10th house, which is, your career, your life path, your mission. We all need to, at some point, like reevaluate, and this is also this energy of being not satiated by what's going on and always looking to improve yourself. So it's beautiful. I think it's a great opportunity to do all of that. So if we talk a little bit more detailed about the 52nd gate, called the gate of stillness, these are people with deep staying power, as long as they find the right outlet through which they can be of service. This gate fuels the whole understanding circuit with the frequency of focus and concentration. It is a gate of passive tension. These people experience a kind of locked pressure to remain in one place without moving. This can sometimes be mistaken for antisocial behavior. With the presence of the 9th, their energy can be released into one single focused stream. But without the 9, there is potential to focus, but without the knowledge of what to focus their energy upon. A lack of focus in the people can lead to tension, restlessness, and depression. So we need to be careful of that, because this gate is not technically completed unless you have the 9 on this full moon. I have the 9. So I will have the 9 when I will have the 9. I will have this energy completed in my chart so I can take advantage of the energy and see how I can embody it to help me achieve whatever it is that I need to achieve. Like that day for me, what I'm thinking, I'm writing a book right now, and that would be a great day to just sit down and like channel the book, like do nothing other than just sit down and like focus on one thing, right? It's actually pretty cool. It's called the Buddha Gate. I love that. The ability to still the physical body and senses and use in a focused way. Great day also for meditation. And so the 9, which is on the opposite end of the spectrum, is called the gate of focus, the taming power of the small. It's people with an ability for prolonged focus and detailed work. I have this gate, so I know this energy, as long as they can maintain the discipline of sitting still. But because I don't have the 52, I have a hard time sitting still. But when I do get these moments where I can do it, I'm like streamlining, channeling powerful stuff. This is the gate of determination and commitment to a process that involves great staying power. These people can maintain a single focus and are naturally gifted at handling details. This gate is related directly to the mental gate, which is the 62, the preponderance of the small. Without the 52, these people can find it hard to still themselves enough to channel their energies in a single direction. And does anyone have the 9? By any chance, if you want to share with us in the chat, do you have the 9th gate? Because if you do, just like me, the channel of concentration will be completed, and this is what it's going to feel like: a design of determination. The ideal of your life is to use your powers of concentration in the service of improving something that will make a difference in the world. That's beautiful. These people are here to bring a determination and focus to anything they do. They are here to hold together any endeavor and concentrate their entire being into any process. They bring focus to any group that they are a part of. As one of the 3 format energies in the body, which is really significant because it means that it kind of trumps all the other energies. This is a very powerful energy, and wherever it is present in someone's design, it greatly intensifies all the other channels in the body graph. These people hate having to put their energy into several things at the same time. They need to respond to the pressure that makes them quiet and still. They can either enter a space where they can concentrate all their energy into a detailed process. They then can enter. The potential for depression here is, why can't I move? if you have the 52nd without the 9, or why can't I sit still and focus if you have the 9 without the 52? It's kind of an interesting energy. But again, being a format channel, this is a strong energy. We're going to feel it very potent. I can already kind of feel because I do a lot of like readings like before the energy arrives. And today I even recorded the full moon Akashic reading that we're going to watch together as a premiere video on the day of the full moon. And it was a powerful reading. And as I was tuning into it, I could feel the potency of this actual energy. And so the other thing I wanted to talk about here is the 58th gate, which is where the sun is at. So it's a full moon. In astrology, when a full moon happens, you have the sun and the moon making an exact opposition, and it's happening at 4 degrees, 58 minutes of Cancer. And so the sun is in the other side of the spectrum on the 58th gate, which is called the gate of vitality. So these two energies, the gate of stillness and the gate of vitality, are working together. They're technically what we call programming partners. So let's talk about the gate of vitality, the joyous. People with a love of challenging authority simply for the joy of the challenge. These people have a zest for life, which manifests as the drive to improve things in the world around them. This gate represents the vitality to challenge conditioning and is rooted in not being satisfied in the now. This is the channel of insatiability, and this gate is the source of the energy. Without the 18, these people are people whose love of life makes them desperate to be of service in some wider way. They feel the pressure of needing to commit their energy to a process, but on their own, they do not possess the clear awareness of how improvements can be made. If they follow their strategy, they will naturally draw the 18s into their lives. So we have to look at whether we have the 18. This is a great opportunity to do that, like comparing in your chart to see, because if you have the 18, that means that this channel of judgment will be completed for you. Hello, Ariel, welcome in. Okay, cool. So your mental projector child has the 9. Okay, so they will have the 952 completed. Jeanette says, I have the 52, but not the 9. Okay, but the energy of the 52 will just become highlighted for you during this full moon. Jai, you will always be to me my spiritual wisdom keeper friend. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Venus. Thank you for saying that. So does anybody have the 18? I'm curious if you guys have the 18 in your chart. I don't think I do. So this is the gate of correction. Work on what has been spoilt. People with a gift. My husband has this channel completed. It's his only channel. So I know the energy very well because when he's around me, I embody it. But this is people with a gift for always seeing the faults in everything in order to make improvements. Might feel like a shadow, but it's actually a very important part of the world. These people are always see what is wrong with things. They naturally know when any pattern is flawed, and they feel happiest when challenging it. These are gifted critics. However, without the 58, their tendency is only to see the faults in things without having the drive to do anything about them. It is through this gate that we receive our deepest conditioning from our parents, regardless of whether we have it defined or not. The greatest conditioning will always come from the parent of the opposite sex. People with definition in this gate or channel have to confront their parental conditioning over the course of their lives. They need to learn that the very conditioning they received as children is actually the source of the gift of their criticism. This gate represents the fear of authority and the challenge to that authority. My husband has the 18th, says Ariel, and I have the 58. Interesting. Well, right now, the sun is going to be at the 58 for the full moon. So the energy is going to get highlighted for you guys. So what is the channel of judgment? A design of insatiability. As someone who loves to challenge everything in life, you are recommended not to offer your criticism unless asked. That's very important detail. The devil's in the detail. Once asked, you will never encounter resistance from others. These people are perfectionists. Ooh, I think this is the energy that possibly makes you a perfectionist, Ariel. These are logical people who are here to bring judgment in order to improve things for the sake of the whole. They are insatiable in their energy to improve. The trick for them is to realize that their drive to find perfection is designed to only be of service in the public sector rather than in their personal life. When they have no one or nothing to challenge, their sense of dissatisfaction can turn itself inwards, either on themselves or on their friends and families. And these people can end up with all kinds of relationship and family problems if they are constantly challenging their closest allies. As with the channels between the root and the spleen, these people have a regular need for physical exercise in order to burn energy. Without the 48th, the gate of depth, these people can show where things have gone wrong and are ready to work on potential improvements, but they do not necessarily know what to replace an established pattern with. In other words, their role is not to come up with a solution, but only to show where the fault lies. They have to learn that it is in the perfecting process that is important rather than the results. For true perfectionists, perfection can never actually exist. There are only ascending levels of mastery. So those are the two channels that are actually important to look at, or two gates / channels that are important to look at today, because these are going to be the ones that are affecting us when this full moon comes. The time on the clock is my birthday. Oh, God, that's hilarious. So this is interesting. I'm so curious because I can't remember if I have this, so I want to check it. I know I'm like selfishly wanting to check if I have it. Oh shit. I do. I have the 58. It's my design Jupiter. Okay then. So now that explains a lot. I'm not going to have the channel completed because I don't have the 18. You'd have to have the 18 to have the channel completed. But the subconscious energy of the 58th gate, the gate of vitality, is going to be really highlighted for me. And then you can see here how I have the 9. And so with the transit of the full moon, the channel will be completed. And during that time, I will feel like I have that defined root and that defined sacral. And I'll also feel like I have the energy. And also know that these are like, these transits are very, very, they move fast, because we're looking at the moon energy, and the moon changes gates very quickly. It's like faster than every 2.5 days. It changes signs every 2.5 days. So it goes through like a bunch of gates in those 2.5 days. So this is a transient energy. It doesn't last forever, but it's definitely something that you can take advantage of. See, the way that I look at transits in human design is for a moment in time, you can go through the portal real quick and then it'll close, And so that's how I know other people might see it differently, but I feel like these energies can affect us in that way, and we can take advantage and embody the energy in that moment in time and use the transits to help us sort of like navigate through life. I mean, there are certain like channels and gates that when they are completed in your chart through a transit, you want to take advantage of. Hello, Elizabeth, welcome in. So it's a big deal, right? And this one just happens to be in the 52nd gate and the 58th gate, which are all both really powerful gates. And it's all, think about it, all of this is in the root, technically. And so I mentioned it earlier, but the root center is about stress and pressure and feeling like you have being able to deal with the stress and the pressure that's like coming at you through these two gates, right? So it's the pressure to sit still so that you can focus and concentrate. And the 58 is the pressure to allow, this is my own interpretation, to allow yourself to see the things that are not working and then find a way to actually do something about them. So with the 18 being the gate of correction, I feel like that's what the pressure is. It's like to fix things. So it's very, very interesting. And I hope that you enjoy this energy, because I feel like this is going to be great, especially with the moon. The focus is the 52nd. So having an opportunity to sit still, like, yes, please, I can focus, but I have a hard time sitting still. That's my issue because I have the 9 and not the 52. So let's all take some time on Tuesday to like sit still and see what comes and see what we can hear. Because when we're in the stillness, we can hear more than when we're making a lot of noise. So thank you guys so much for being here, for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the new subscribers. And please check out all the links in the descriptions because we have a lot of awesome stuff coming up, a lot of free events that are coming up, a New Year's challenge, a Akashic Healing Retreat, which is the replays are already up and loaded. You can access it now. And we have 2 awesome programs coming up in 2024 that we want you guys to join us and be a part of. And that's the Aquarian Business School and the Moon Goddess Training. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you guys have a beautiful full moon in Cancer, a beautiful rest of your week and a beautiful weekend. And I will see you guys all again very soon. Satnam.